Hello and hello. I had a couple of requests for kind of a breakdown about this control redesign. So here it is. I'm a bit sick, so excuse my stuffy voice. Yeah, let's go through the layers. So here's just the background stuff. Just some quick ambience and whatever I threw in for Nikolai. If you're watching, hello. Then the actual pull. And the launch. And then we have the enemy impacts. Well, for the last enemy, I guess. Let's go through the pull. I will show you later how what kind of process I had for creating these. Yeah, I'm gonna go through the processing for each of these, so it's gonna take a while. This is a trick that I used quite a lot in this clip. Yeah, this warp is modulated by the actual amplitude that we're getting from the audio. It creates kind of like this cool automatic movement. Yeah, it's just a clip from a longer thing that I bounced out of Traveler. These have a little bit more processing without any plugins. And basically they're just from this Traveler synth, like they all are. But so let's see what we're doing here. I'm using the same trick, but on Crystallizer on the pitch. Basically, it's giving a bit more depth and low-end distortion. Again, same trick on Valhalla. Or Supermassive. It just gives it nice depth, stuff like that. Then we're pitching down and just taking out the high end. Again, slapping Raum on individual tracks. I'm sorry, Warped Bionic. Next one. This is a pretty simple, just some synth patch that's been traveled. Traveler-ed. I think this was one of the cooler sounds. Getting a bit loud, but whatever. And just use the snippet for of that, and again, yeah, same automatic modulation. Same thing here, just different snippet. Some of the bass layers. It's probably some kind of reese. Yep. And it just has a filter freak on it. Really muffling. Then just like some kind of sub impacts without any plugins. Yeah, almost the same sample every time. Just to give it some, you know, meat. And of course, disperser and filter freak. I guess this is basically for the movement of the chair, but it's just a really subtle layer. And again, just kind of muffling up with the filter freak. Yeah. So that's the pull, and then the launch. Here I'm using the same trick with the supermassive and a little bit more processing. It's even more interesting on really percussive or transient heavy sounds. When you're modulating delay, not the warp this time, but show you the settings again. I'm just cutting that one short because it gives you a really long tail. Yeah, these are the swoosh layers. So yeah, as you can see, this is just basically combined out of a ton of smaller segments that I generated using synths and the Traveler plugin by Tonsturm, I guess. And I'll show you in a clean project how I generated the source material. I'm gonna show you here in this empty project how I came up with my source sounds. First, I would have just Reason. Let's go with, I don't know, Thor this time. I would just go through presets and like hit record and just like keep recording stuff. So I don't know, let's go with just sine wave or so for now. One way to do it, or one way I did do it, was to have Traveler straight on the track or the FX chain. First you have the synth and then Traveler. Basically you just play something and you're gonna have something. So in the control clip it was something like this, and then I would just exaggerate the movement to it, like so. Once you kind of have an idea what you want to make, let's say we want to make some kind of a quick pull. Sure, maybe like that. And what I like to do is play with these settings and the damp especially. But yeah, basically I did some processing in Traveler also. I might have had, for example, the tremolo on and maybe distortion. And then with the speed you can kind of determine how exaggerated should the effect be. Also a good way to make impacts with the shift. I'm not even sure what this exactly does. Does it like shift the position here, or I should probably read the manual. But yeah, I would just fiddle around with the settings in Traveler and then set up like a different track and hit record and doink, that's one. Then go, oh my god, where's my well, let's, yeah, then just put on another and then bounce that. Cool. Maybe we want a bass distort runner. Okay, cool. And we can kind of, even with the playback position, we can play around what's it gonna sound like, because Traveler is gonna start when you hit play. It's not gonna notice, you know, kind of like the material. So you might get some cool accidents. And then you could have like longer duration, more damp, and I don't know, more tremolo. And then basically when you have a bunch of these clips, I would then process them and try to compile like a sensible sequence out of that. And yeah, I would use the Traveler also for the impacts and stuff like that. Like but then another way to do it, another technique, if you want to use the granular things in Traveler, you have to record the thing. So you have the synth there, just hit record. play it back there. And then, well, you would take this and just move it to a different track. I can mute that. I'm not going to need it. And now we can set this to record itself. And every time we hit play, it's going to play whatever is happening here. And then you can go nuts with the LFOs and the pitch size. Just let it swoop. You get like very interesting stuff very quickly. And then when you're in this granular mode, you can basically just hit record. Fiddle with the knobs and, you know, get a lot of variations of the same sound. And I would just, you know, repeat this process with a ton of different sounding synths for the low end, for the high end, everything, and making impacts and, you know, basic swooshes and just textures and stuff like that. Yeah, hopefully you found this useful. Thanks.